foot, you want to go ahead and you are going to place your foot on the dorsal surface. So the top portion of your foot, you're going to end up rolling it onto the floor. And then what we want to do for this exercise is we want to press the midfoot down into the ground. Then from this position, we want to go ahead and Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Steven here with TV for Work, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to be your own therapist by demonstrating the top 5 myofascial stretching exercises for flat feet. And before I get on with the exercises, I want to do a quick recap of what exactly flat feet are and why exactly you should care. Whenever you hear the term flat feet, that refers to a collapsed medial arch or an overpronation of the foot. Simply put, the medial arch or the arch on the inside of the foot is going to be dropping down to the ground, and ideally, you should be able to take a finger and place it underneath there. If you can't, then you most likely have flat feet, and you would want to do these exercises. Otherwise, if you don't address it, you can develop things like foot and ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, low back pain, and because of the way the fascial lines run throughout the body, it can also trickle up and lead to things like shoulder pain and neck pain as well. So you would want to address it immediately. And in terms of how exactly we can fix it, one thing, we would want to go ahead and do some strengthening exercises for the muscles that are responsible for flexing the foot and toes, and also the muscles that are responsible for inverting the ankle. We ended up covering those exercises a couple days ago. I'm going to include a link right up over here to the video of the top 5 strengthening exercises for flat feet, but you could go ahead, give those exercises a try, and then once you've done those exercises, these myofascial stretching exercises would be a terrific complement for those particular strengthening exercises. But without further ado, here are the top 5 myofascial stretching exercises for flat feet. The first myofascial stretching exercise for flat feet is going to be for the Extensor Digitorum Longus, and for this one you want to be up against the wall to stabilize yourself. Whatever arm you're going to be pressing into the wall, the opposite leg is going to be the leg that we're going to be working on the foot. So for this one, you're going to place one hand against the wall, and then with the foot, you want to go ahead and you are going to place your foot on the dorsal surface. So the top portion of your foot, you're going to end up rolling it onto the floor, and then what we want to do for this exercise is we want to press the midfoot down into the ground. Then from this position, we want to go ahead and drive the knee forward. Once the knee is driven forward, we want to bring the tibia into internal rotation, and that is the myofascial stretching exercise for the Extensor Digitorum Longus. Next, the second myofascial stretching exercise for flat feet is going to be for the Extensor Hallucis Longus. For the Extensor Hallucis Longus, very similar setup position and very similar stretch overall. We're placing one hand on the actual wall, then the opposite leg, that's going to be the leg that we're stretching. What we want to do for this one right over here is we're going to be focusing primarily on the big toe. So what we want to do is we're going to press our big toe down into the ground by applying pressure on the dorsal surface. Then from here, once again, we're going to drive the knee forward. Once the knee has been driven forward, we want to go into internal rotation of the tibia. So we're going to drive the lateral malleolus down toward the ground. And that is the myofascial stretching exercise for the Extensor Hallucis Longus. Next, the third myofascial stretching exercise for flat feet is going to be for the Fibularis longus and Brevis. For this one right over here, we're going to be in a half kneeling position, so as though you're in the bottom position of a lunge. Then, once we're in our half kneeling position, what we want to do is we are going to drive our knee forward to get as much dorsiflexion in the ankle as possible. Once we've driven our knee forward, the next thing that we want to do is roll onto the outside of the ankle. So we're going to just go ahead and just roll out to the side so that we can create a varus force at the ankle, and we're going to go into inversion of the foot. And that is the myofascial stretching exercise for the Fibularis longus and Brevis. Next, the fourth myofascial stretching exercise for flat feet is going to be for the Fibularis tertius. For the Fibularis tertius, what we're going to do for this one is we're going to get in a tall kneeling position. So we're going to get on both knees, and for this one, we want to go ahead and sit down onto our calves. Once we've sat down onto our calves, we want to drive the lateral malleolus, so the ankle bone on the outside, we want to drive it down toward the floor. The reason we're driving it down toward the floor is because this is going to allow us to induce a varus force and get into inversion of the actual ankle. I'm going to just turn to the side so you guys can see what exactly I mean, but you're going to get into a tall kneeling position, sit down, and then the lateral malleolus, you're going to drive it down toward the ground. And that is the myofascial stretching exercise for the Fibularis tertius. Next, the fifth and final myofascial stretching exercise for flat feet is going to be for the Extensor Hallucis Brevis. For the Extensor Hallucis Brevis, once again, we're going to be in a standing position. And for this one right over here, all we're going to do for the Extensor Hallucis Brevis, it is responsible for extension of the big toe. So we want to take our foot flat on the floor, and then what we want to do is flex our toe, and we are going to roll the weight of our body over the big toe while keeping the rest of the toes extended. So we only want to be flexing the big toe. Then from here, we want to go ahead and straighten out the knee. And if you want to add some myofascial tension, for all of these, you can also go into maximum external rotation of elbow and wrist, maximum external rotation of the shoulder, shoulder, and then flex the arm to the level of the coronal plane. Keep the chin tucked in, crown of the head up, eyes looking down to put the dura mater under tension. And that is something that you can incorporate for all of them. But those were the top 5 myofascial stretching exercises for flat feet. And there you have it. Those were the top 5 myofascial stretching exercises for flat feet. If you happen to have flat feet, or if you have issues with regard to foot pain, ankle pain, knee pain, hip pain, low back pain, or even something like shoulder pain or neck pain, go ahead and give those exercises a try, because it can affect all of those different areas. And with regard to the sets and repetitions, you would want to do each of the myofascial stretching exercises for 3 sets of 30 seconds. And you would want to do them every single day. The reason we're doing them every single day is because we're trying to elicit a postural change. And whenever we're trying to elicit a postural change, we want to be able to accumulate enough time under tension. And if we just do these exercises once a week or once a month, you're not going to get the true benefit, because you're not going to be able to accumulate that time under tension. So go ahead, give those exercises a try. Again, 3 sets of 30 seconds. And if you have any questions at all, go ahead and ask your questions down in the comment section, because I would love to help you guys out. And if you tried the exercises, go ahead and write your comment and let me know what you guys thought and how you guys felt afterwards. But that's pretty much it for today's video. On Monday, I'm going to be taking you through the top 5 ELDOA exercises for flat feet. So be out on the lookout for that Monday at 2 p.m. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to smash that like button so I know to keep making these types of videos in the future. And if you're either new to the channel or haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading new videos every single day. That's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you again tomorrow.